Right, now that we are being recorded, listening skills enhancement, as the title of the lecture implies, I will be talking about mostly everything related to the listening side. If you have questions about reading, if you have questions about writing or speaking, we can shift our focus on those lectures during the schedule. So if we will be having a schedule about writing, reading, or speaking, that's where we're going to tackle. For now, we want to shift our attention to the debutant for today. So the listening subtest. So listening, our aim, our objective, our main goal for this Saturday lecture is to, of course, acquire essential skills related to the listening exam. And hopefully, for you to be able to polish those skills that you will acquire and to potentially take them to the next level, which is, of course, through practice. So let's talk about the test in general first. Your exam is divided into two categories. So you have your written exam or written component, and then you have your interview, which is speaking. Exactly what I discussed last Thursday. Remember? Hindi na. Natulog na eh. Sir, hangover na ako nung Friday. So, matanda niya. Alright, so speaking is a separate entity. So your speaking exam could be scheduled prior to your written component. So if you are booking, let's say today is August 17th. There will be situations when candidates will find that their schedule for speaking was yesterday. It could happen. Their schedule for speaking could be tomorrow. Or it could be one sitting, which is your speaking test will be scheduled later within the day, which is around 2 to 5 p.m. So that's the normal schedule of the exam. Now, for the pen and paper based test takers, because they're trying to fit almost 100 examinees, they have 2 day, they have to wait for 2 days before their written component occurs prior to your speaking interview. So that is how it normally goes. But now for the computer-based test, the speaking test is mostly, as I've noticed, occurring in the afternoon. May mga testing centers where they put the speaking test in the morning, then the written exam in the afternoon. It also happens. So, sir, what should I expect for my exam? So your schedule is going to tell you exactly when your exam is going to be and what your exam is going to be on that particular schedule. So trust the schedule. Hindi magbabago yan. Unless they give you notifications telling you, hey, we're moving your exams a day faster. So instead of speaking Friday, written component Saturday, it's going to happen on the same day. Sorry, that's how they're going to send you an email about. So, okay, I just want to separate the two. So your speaking test is what we call the isolated exam. But the written component always happens in this particular order. Listening comes first, reading comes next, writing comes last. That is your written component. Regardless of the mode of your choice, which one you want to take your test, whether it's pen and paper based or computer delivered exam, regardless, I shall refer to it as written component because up until now, examiners and the invigilators alike, they also refer to it as such. So I still am going to refer to it. So when you hear me say written component, I mean the three exams, respectively. Listening, reading, writing. LRW. Sometimes I go LRW, doesn't matter. It means one thing, the schedule of your exam that goes in this order. Listening comes first, reading comes next, writing comes last. So, now that you mentioned about the arrangement, you cannot take reading first, you cannot take writing first, you cannot take listening the second exam. It should always follow the sequence. So if you're going to go and do what you want, then of course consequences will happen. So you will not be able to get the proper material for it. You will not get the questions flash on the screen properly. That's actually what's the worst about IELTS in general sense. Because if you compare IELTS with other English exams like OET or PTE, they arrange their questions in such a fashion that the most difficult questions come first, while in the IELTS, the most difficult questions come last. Which if you are already beaten, no? Pagod ka na, you're tired, your eyes are shutting down, your test-taking stamina has not been built properly. So that is one of the common mistakes that people encounter, that they downplay how difficult IELTS is actually. Actually, if you're going to ask me what's the most difficult English exams, there's no doubt that IELTS is the most difficult English exam, just because of the existence of the writing subject. So now, listening, as I've mentioned, this is the beacon of hope, the light, the end of the tunnel. Listening is the easiest of 4 areas of your exam. When I say easiest, if you ask someone from the general population to take this exam, the chances of them getting a 7, band 7, which is equivalent to getting 30 points out of 40 items correct, is very high. Because numbers tell us that the national band score of the Philippines for listening has been consistently on a band 7 for the past few years. Magaling tayo sa listening. That is the conclusion. Magaling po, Filipino, listening subject. Tayo mga tismos. Saan tayo hindi magaling? Reading. Dahil nagbabasa. Okay? Iihi tayo sa hindi dapat ihian. Tatapon tayo sa hindi dapat tapunan. Kung nababasa yung post, comment na agad. So, dun po tayo mahina, Lee. So, again, I trust that this batch would also perform as expected from the trend, because we are consistently getting 7 or higher. Just to share, the 9er median score, by the way, the population, test-taking population of the Philippines, about 21-22% are enrolled in review center segments. And we control roughly 70% of the share. So we could say about 17-18% 9er students. So our 9er median score for listening is 8. Mataas. Okay? So chances of you getting 7 without review, because about 70% of the test-taking population are not enrolled in review centers like this one, is very high. So regardless of whether you take a review or not, kaya maka-7 sa listening. Kaya po? Kaya. Because listening, again, is the easiest subject. How easy? Let me explain that to you later. But now, let's focus on the 9er median score. A 9er student, a 9er candidate is expected to get somewhere around 8.0. That is the 9er median score. So getting an 8 after 2 to 3 months of preparation, undergoing at least 10 mock sessions, could potentially land you a band 8 of the test, hopefully. Okay, so the listening exam is divided into 4 sections, which we refer to as parts. So you will hear on your speakers, on your headphones, the audio itself will notify you section 1. Now, there was a change in 2020, January 2020 to be exact. They no longer refer to it as section. Rather, they refer to it as part. So instead of hearing section 1, you will now hear part 1 instead. Okay, so for section, 4 areas, 4 division, this is going to be at least 8 points, minimum to 12 points. But on a regular day, tigsa 10 lang siya, bringing the total of items to 40. So 40 total questions you have to supply answers to. That is your goal, to fill those gaps altogether, potentially giving you a much better chance of bagging a higher band score in the process. So, your exam lasts for 40 minutes. This is true if you will be taking the pen paper based exam. Sir, I'm not going to take pen and paper based exam. I'll be taking the computer delivered exam. So this 40 minutes will be trimmed down. It will be downsized to only 32 minutes. Why? Well, this previous 40 minutes for the traditional exam is 30 minutes for the actual exam itself. You listen, you answer simultaneously. So you are doing a bit of a multitasking here. You are answering questions as you listen, you're brainstorming in the process. And you're also putting the answers on the test booklet, or you are typing your answers directly on the keyboard. Now, the remaining 10, listen carefully, importante to. The remaining 10 is for you to transfer your answers from your scratch paper, from the test booklet, into a designated answer sheet. Once again, people, I would like you to listen. This is done for the pen and paper based exam. That is why after the recording, after the audio is played, you will hear this narration. You now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the listening answer sheet. You hear that at the end of the test. That is exactly what you do. You do not put answers directly on the answer sheet, because if you do that, you will have a bad time. Why? There is a great tendency that the audio will have corrections. So for example, question number 3. When was the last time you went to the beach? Oh, Kevin, when was the last time you went to the beach? Oh, if I'm not mistaken, that was May. Oh, I forgot. That was already June. Oh, my bad. So it's not May now. The answer is changed into June. So imagine if you're going to put your answers directly on your answer sheet. Back then, you will have a rough time because you will be erasing it. And then as you are busy erasing, that is why eraser is your worst enemy in the listening test back then. I keep on reminding my students, you will be given an eraser on your test. Please do not ever, ever even attempt to use it. Once you see that you're given an eraser, throw that shit away. Oh, eraser is your worst enemy. Once you're busy erasing, your answers will be stacked one by one. Habang nagbubura ka, dahan-dahan pa, mainhin eh. Nasabi na pala yung sagot sa 4, sa 5, sa 6. Hindi mo na nasundan kasi busy ka na. Hindi mo naman pwedeng i-pause yan. I get some point. Okay? So in the past, it literally was 10 minutes. And still, it is 10 minutes if you will take the pen and paper-based exam. Ay, wala naman mo talaga. Bago. Nagkaroon lang ng another mode of exam, which is the computer-based. So, it's 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Di ba mabilis ba yun? Mabilis? Actually, guys, you don't need any more extensions. Because the 30 minutes during listening and answering simultaneously, your answers are automatically uploaded on a virtual answer sheet. This 2 minutes time given is only for you to check. Kaya ang script na maririnig mo, hindi to transfer. You now have 2 minutes, check your answers. Click mo yung virtual answer sheet, tingnan mo, alin doon yung wala kang answer. Uy, item 37, wala pala akong answer. You can go back, nandito sa ilalim, yung mga numbers. Maliliit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, hanggang makarating ka ng 40. Dahil number 37, ka-click mo yun. Tingnan mo ulit yung question. Wala na ka nang maririnig na audio because the recording is played once only. So you can make some hypothetical guess what answers you have to supply. Never, ever, ever, please, never, ever submit your answer sheet if you have items left unanswered. Why? Well, if there's no answer for that item, it is automatically wrong. Simple. Walang sagot, mali. Tama? Eh kung may sagot ka doon, ko-consider pa nila. Sabi ng isang estudyante, tinuro ko sa kanila yung technique na to before. Uy! Tsumahan pa pa. Eh, ABC lang naman. Brainstorm mo. Diba? Where will the field trip happen? A, crocodile farm. B, zoo. C, computer chip manufacturing company. Eh mga IT students yun, magdadali mo sa crocodile farm. Nagets mo? So even without hearing the audio, I missed that item. I can make a lucky guess. I think C is the proper answer for this. Because what is the length of an adult shark? 3 centimeter, 3 meter, 3 kilometer. Dali. Even without the audio. So I'm not implying na ala kong sinasabi na hulaan ko na lang kaya itong 40 ito. Manghuhula ka lang pag may na-miss ka isa, dalawang tanong. Because chances are you will miss 1 or 2 items in the process. But I don't want you guys giving up just yet. Provide answers to those missed questions, even if you have to guess. Should the 2-minute mark is given to you after the test is over. Clear? So again, the recording is played once only. So in the past, in the traditional sense of test taking, I recommend that my students take note. That is a non-disclosure agreement. Palagi, pag hindi ka nagte-take note, nakikita kita nagpa-practice, batukan kita. Lang pakialam kahit si Gob ka pa. Gob, kung narinig mo ako. Joke lang. Alright? That's what I mean. Since the recording is played once, sino po dito mga kasal? So, ang kasal isang beses lang, di ba? In the Filipino culture, at least. In the Western culture, they get married multiple times. But you would imagine, one of the few reasons why there are so many cameras, so many photographers, videographers capturing the moments, because we want to relive it once again. We want to watch, we want to see the videos, we want to see the pictures once more. Because if we look at the Testament, what happened on that day, you get to return. Feelings will return. Okay. Matay na bisita. Ito, patay na to eh. Patay na siya. Alright? Ano ba? That is the purpose of taking photos, because we want to remember it later. And that is the reason why we want to take notes before, because we want to remember the answers for later. Because those are the notes, those notes that we have taken of, we will be transferring them one by one. So if you didn't write anything, what are you going to transfer? Again, that's simple logic. But now, we don't get to take note anymore, which makes the exam much more difficult. Kinda, in a sense, it's a bit difficult because some people are used to taking notes. But here's my opinion about the matter. In the past, when there was only the pen and paper based exam, you have to really write your answers hardcore. Talagang lahat yan, isusulat mo. Buong pangalan, address, pangalan ng hotel, pangalan ng dish, anong date, kailangan mo siya isulat ng buo. But now, the exam is much more different. It's much more intuitive. Which means you just have to interact with it using clicks. Kaya magsusulat, click ka na lang. At nag-get ko yung kung saan ako nagagaling. So, kaya kailangan mo mag-note dati, kasi kailangan mo talagang mag-note, mahaba ang sagot. Ngayon, yung mga sagot, makikita mo na siya visually. You have to interact with it as you listen. Which makes the exam, you lose some, you get some. So, wala yung note taking, ang nabalik naman is mas napadali yung interaction, which I think is better. Kaya lately, ang dami nakaka-8, 8.59 sa list. Because the exam has noticed a significant increase in its intuitiveness level. But, as I've mentioned, the reason why I'm warning my students before, kapag dumating na yung second half ng taon, June to December, especially pag nag-burn months na, hirap na po ng papahirapan. So the questions for listening and reading will increase significantly. Kaya, pag papalapit na ang Pasko, ang mag-e-exam, mas papahirap na po ang test. So, pinakamarami kaming passers talaga pag first quarter. Like, 34 candidates nag-exam, isang batch, 2018, if I'm not mistaken. February yun. 32 pumasa. Dalawa lang yung bumalik. Tinapos lang sila sa writing. So, pang combination of score lang yan. Okay? So, my suggestion is, you have to set a healthy pace of how long you want to prepare, which I think is 2 to 3 months would be enough. Even though you're academic, you want to get a high band score, 4 to 6 months extension would do. And then don't wait for burr months to take your test. As much as possible, first quarter. Okay? Sa mga kailangan lang naman ng 4, 5, 6, kahit next week ka mag-exam, kaya to. Ilan kailangan mo pero? Ilan na kukuha mo sa Mac? O, di ba? Yabang nito. 6. Di ba? Kasi, we have set a certain parameter sa mock exam. I want to share, since 9.09 Cabanatuan branch is now a British Council partner, medyo mayabang na kami. Mayabang na kami talaga. Bakit? Sa amin yung gamit din eh. Ano nyo, pinahiram nyo ito sa amin ha. Ito gagamitin namin ito pandaya. Paano ang pandadaya? Eh, nabibinig nyo na tayo. Ano yung mga taga-British Council? Anong pandaraya? Mga dating lang exam. Meron kaming software. Import pa namin all the way from the UK. Kung not mistaken, nasa 400,000. Mas mahal pa yung software na yun kasi sa buong set ng PC na binili namin. So, nasa 390 lang ata itong siyam na to. Kung not mistaken. So, mas mahal yun. Isang CD lang yan. 400,000. Pwede kang bumili ng big bike na 200cc to. No, Pierre? Ang T-Max, pwede naman ka ng T-Max na yan. $1 million? Hindi lang. 700? Konti pa. Konting ipon pa. Okay? Get the point. Sa amin, that is what we use for you to practice your mock efficiently. Those past questions, we get them from the software, we upload it online so that meron kaming system na ma-incorporate. Ma-run kami na software doon. Para yung na-experience yung exam ay malapit sa katotohanan. Dahil sila po yung mga dating exam mismo. Diba ang sarap? Pinapractice mo yung kung ano yung iti-take mo na exam. Ano yung difficulty level niya. Nagpa-practice ka sa kung saan ka din mismo mag-exam. So it reduces the anxiety level. Very close to reality. Alabang ka sa 400-meter dash. Bakit kita pagpa-practice ng swimming? Dapat, tumakbo ka lang ng tumakbo. Yun yung practice mo. Kasi yun yung gagawin mo eh. Yung laban na lalabanan mo. Nagets your point? Okay. So, the recording is played once. We want to maximize this recording being played once. That's why, unlike in the past where you're given this opportunity to take notes for the pen and paper based exam, which you still have the opportunity if you will be booking the pen and paper based exam. Still, your computer-based test is much more intuitive. Yun nga lang, you just have to make more of your senses work. Kasi nakatingin ka sa screen, as you interact, nagpe-play yun sa'yo, tapos nagtatype ka ng answers, ginagalaw mo pa yung mouse. So for you to get used to it, I don't have any other suggestions but to practice. Wala nang iba pang dapat na gawin mo kung hindi panasin mo siya. Pag nakakuha ka ng mababang score, try ka ulit. Experience mo lang siya hanggang sa dumali na siya sa'yo. Wala nang dadaig pa. Okay? It's only difficult at the beginning. It gets easier. Trust me. Actually, we don't have the full-length version of the exam at home. I only have the computer-based familiarization, which is around 25, 28 items, which I will upload together with the replay of this lecture. So if you want to practice at home, so I have students who are from Kalinga, I have students from Cavite listening, watching. I have students from Canada and Dubai already. So they want to experience the same exam that you will encounter on the actual test taking scenario. You can just click the link and then practice it. So one of the many mistakes my students commit is that sa cellphone or tablet nila yon tinetest, which is bad because hindi gagana yung UI ng software. Kailangan po sa laptop or sa computer. Dami dyan. 15 pesos per hour lang, malapit sa mga universities. No? Okay? Pag gusto, maraming paraan. Okay? So, what's my general rule for listening? Listen intently. When I say intently, listen with the intent of capturing, getting as many potential answers as possible through remembering them, because we no longer are allowed to use notes. Actually, you can ask for the invigilator, excuse me, can I ask for a sheet of paper and a pencil? You'll be given. But if you ask me one thing, it's a total waste of time. People are passing without notes anymore. People are passing without pencil and paper now. And if you're going to write their answers first and not type them directly during the listening phase, you only have 2 minutes to transfer everything, which is going to take a toll on your test-taking strategy. So maling-maling strategy yan. Kaya dinidiscourage ko siya, although pwede naman. Okay? So, pwede, pero hindi ko pinapayagan. Pwede, pero hindi ako pabor. Okay? Kung gusto mong bumagsak, hingi ka ng note tsaka ng papel. That's just my opinion. Follow the example. There's no better way to pass this test than to follow the format of the example given. Most of I think half of my discussion will be taken by this bullet. Kalahati ng i-discuss ko sa inyo ay kakainin itong following the example. And please don't fall asleep. That's why you have to prepare yourself both physically and mentally. When say physically and mentally, you have to get plenty of rest the night before your exam para hindi ka aantok-antok. You have to remember, listening is the first, even the easiest among the 4 subjects. Reading is coming up. Writing is lurking in the corner. So, if you are not well rested, if you are not 100% physically prepared for it, you might flunk the test. You may flunk the test. Trust me. Okay? So, pag-igihan din yan. So, if you will be taking the pen and paper based test, we have a listening test questionnaire. Excuse me. Separated from the test booklet. The answer sheet is actually color orange. And then we have items 1 to 20 on the left, 21 to 40 on the right side. Be careful because the listening and reading answer sheets are very identical. In fact, they share the same page. So isang page lang po yan, baliktaran. Sino pa mga nag-take ng board exams before, regardless of the profession? Ask naman. Okay. So alam niyo ta? Alam niyo tong grids na to. Anong tawag dyan? Scantron. Ano po ba yung Scantron? Ano nga yung Scantron? Ano? Pinifeed yan sa machine. Yung machine na nagche-check. So kung makikita nyo, dito nilalagay yung sagot. Meron ditong checkbox tsaka wrong na crossbox. I-shade ito ng examiner. Kung tama ka, shade na to. Kung mali ka, shade na itong kabila. Tapos, if-feed yan sa machine, paglabas niya, band score na. Naka-upload na yun dun sa results mo. So, meaning, the listening and reading answer sheets, the listening and reading exam as a whole, they are not very prone to error. Error-proof yan. Kahit gaano mo siya tingnan, mahirap magkamali kasi number one, i-check yan ng junior examiner, i-check yan ng senior examiner, i-check pa yan ng machine. So, ang hirap magkamali na, sir, baka 7 talaga ako sa listening eh, na mali lang sila. They take pride in quality assurance when it comes to listening and reading. That's why listening and reading are the only subtests in the exam which we're not allowed to do a recheck process. Nagigets po? Permanent yan. So kung naka 5 ka sa listening, naka 4.5 ka sa reading, walang ibang may kasalanan no, kundi ikaw. Hindi nila kasalanan. Well, sa writing and speaking, there could probably be some misunderstandings. There could probably be some improper matchmakings. Like hindi ka match dun sa examiner mo. Another examiner found value dun sa narinig yung interview mo. That's why he or she passed you. Sa writing and speaking, pwede yan. But in listening reading, it doesn't happen. Because it will undergo certain rigorous processes before your exam results are out. And those processes are fail-proof methods. Mahirap magkamali doon sa stages na yan. Kaya kung nakaganon kang score sa listening, at maniwala ka na po, yun na po talaga. Hindi po tayo pwede magpa-recheck dyan. Okay? So, sir, paano po kung naibagsak ko po si listening? Alam na. Punta po ako ng UK. Kailangan na score if you are a nurse who are planning to migrate to the United Kingdom. Kailangan mo ng listening 7, reading 7, writing 6.5, speaking 7. Nakuha mo, listening 6.5, reading 8, speaking 8, writing 8. Wow, tataas ng 8. Pero dahil hindi mo naabot yung sa listening, 6.5, hindi ka rin pwede magpa-recheck, ano gagawin mo? Retake. Okay, paliwanag muna natin. Nalilit na, naguguluhan natin iba. May chat, sino to? Sabi ni Jean, Ariola, good morning po sir. Paano po kung naibagsak po si reading? Ayan na. Diba? Sabi sa inyo, may magtatanong. Ganito yan. Attempt number 1. Pangalan natin, take 1. Listening. Listening 6.5. Readings 8. Writing 8. Speaking 8. Tingnan natin dito. Ito yung target. Ayan. Yan. So ito po yung target natin, listening 7, reading 7, writing 6.5, speaking 7. So isahin natin kung ma-reach natin yung target. Sa speaking, pasok, lagpas pa. Sa writing, sobra-sobra pa. Reading, ganun din, sobra-sobra. Pero, hindi na-achieve C. Paano kaya yon, sir? Pwede ko pa bang i-donate yung points ko ng reading? Mga ganun eh. Mga ganung denial stage. Sir, pwede ko ba i-donate yung points sa ganito papunta dito? Kung pwede lang eh, di ba? So, hindi po pwede. So, ano po ang solution dyan? Well, meron tayong na-introduce na bagong concept. Ang tawag po dito is one skill retake. But there's a catch. One skill retake is only allowed for Australian candidates, specifically for student visa applicants. So, sa kanila lang po shoot yun. So ano po ang solusyon? Kung gusto ko pa rin mag-UK, hindi ko na-meet si listening, kailangan mong mag-retake. Kasi nga, recheck is not viable because recheck hindi pwede kay listening. Ang pwede lang kay recheck, writing and speaking. So, take 2. Okay? Panibagong 13,000 na naman. Tama ba? Pera na naman. So, listening this time, nakuha mo na, 7. Lahat sila, 6.5. Yan. Lahat sila 6.5. Pero, yung listening mo, nakakuha ng 7. Ano ngayon mangyayari dyan? Sa retake po ba ulit? Kasi, puro 6.5 to. Actually, pasok yan. Kasi, ang papasok na ngayon dito is what we call combination of band scores. Pagsasamahin mo sila, fusion. Kukumbine yung dalawa na yan, kukunin lahat ng pinakamataas. So, writing mo, 8. Speaking mo, 8 pa din. Reading, 8. Dun sa previous take mo, yung listening, i-removal natin yung 7. Aampunin niya yung 7 sa take 2 mo. Pwede lang po ito. Pwede lang po ito. Shh, may catch pa din. No? May catch pa din. Pwede lamang po ito. Kung yung reading, writing, speaking ay 6.5 at least. Yun ang requirement para makuha si 7 papunta dun sa take 1 score for the process of combination of band scores. Okay po? Eh sir, paano? Kung yung listening ko 9, pero yung reading ko 6, pwede po ba yun i-combine? Hindi. Dahil may isa pong hindi umabot sa 6.5 na requirement na dapat lahat sila ay may ganung score. Para po ito sa UK ha. Kasi sa US, sa Australia, sa New Zealand, iba na naman po ang process. So if you want to know more about the process of combination of band score, about the process of EOR or recheck, I will upload videos to be exact, 2 video po next Tuesday. Tagkalahating oras siya, pinapaliwanag lang tungkol sa proseso na. So meaning, if you're targeting a specific band score for each of the subtests, clearly, si listening and reading, yung dalawang ayaw mong i-bagsak. Bakit? Walang recheck eh. Uulit ka na naman sa process from the top. That's why you have to take all those subtests seriously. Nakukuha? Okay. So, sir, what's the difference between pen and paper and computer-delivered IELTS? I want to know more in detail about the difference. Actually, I have a video uploaded on YouTube. Ito po yung kanyang link. Pero dahil gusto na natin siyang panoorin ngayon, papanoorin na natin siya ngayon. Naka-share computer sound na ba ako?
For the listening test, You can change the volume by using the volume bar in the top right at any time during the test. For each part of the listening test, you will hear the recording.
So ito po yung makikita natin na interface sa monitor. So you have questions here which you have to fill out. And the items are corresponded here at the bottom. So part 1, 1 to 10, part 2, 11 to 20, part 3, 21 to 30, and part 4, 31 to 40 respectively. So yun po yung makikita natin.
Once only. Some parts of the test have more than one type of question. Each type of question has its own instructions. In the listening test, listen carefully for the part number and question numbers to make sure you are looking at the right screen. For some questions, you need to write your answer in the gap. For some questions, you need to choose.
Some cases you will be typing down your answers one by one, which is very tedious, since it requires you to type quickly. Since some answers are given in succession, there's a probability that you may miss some items along the way. So, especially with the way how the speed of the test is given, you may literally miss an item or two during the process. However, there's also different type of question that exists, such as ito, map. Ito, combination po ito ng map and table completion. So meaning, you have to correspond this map, whatever information you are about to hear, versus this. Babanggain mo yung dalawa na yan. So halimbawa, sabi dyan, the quilt shop is situated between Ash Street and Main Street. So ito po si Ash Street, ito po si Main Street, corner daw nun, si? Sino? Si quilt shop. Just opposite of the bank. Ayun yung bank. So magkatapat sila. So this confirms my hint na ang quilt shop ay letter A. So anong gagawin ko? Kiklik ko lang po si A in the process. So ano pang sinasuggest ko dyan? Dahil mouse lang gumagalaw dyan, ha? Anong ginagawa ng isang mandalire? Nakaturo ka dun sa monitor. Totoo yun. So you have to trace the map. So pag sinabi niya, straight ahead, turn left, beside, katabi. So you have to listen to directions. North, adjacent, nearby, surrounding, change into, pave the way into. So those are some clue words that you can use during map listening. Take note, guys. Map is the most difficult part of the listening. Sabi ko sa mga estudyante, if you encounter more maps than multiple choice during your listening exam, you're fucked. Huh? Literal na mas mahirap ang exam mo than the rest. Yun po yung naranasan ng last batch. Sabi sa inyo, pagpapalapit na yung dulo ng taon, puro paparami na yung map, papahirap na yung reading, Australian accent pa daw. 8.5 naman sila. Dahil dala sila mag-practice. May pa lang, estudyante ko na yung batch na yun. June, July, August. 3 buwan, saktong practice. Healthy. Okay? So, ito naman, in this part, you just have to drag and drop. Halimbawa, Paradise Town has the buggy ride as its main means of attraction. So, kiklik mo tong si buggy ride, click, mong bibitawan, idadrop mo siya dito kay 25. Look, bitawan mo siya, yun na po yung sagot.
Which diagram label, A, B, C, etc., is correct for which item listed in the table. For each question, click on the correct space in the table. For some questions, You need to click on an answer and move it into the gap.
Drag and drop.
If you want to change an answer, move another answer into the gap.
Okay, palit.
If you want to leave the question unanswered, move the question back.
Balik mo lang.
And for some questions, you need to move an answer into a gap on a diagram. At the end of the listening test, you will have 2 minutes. And for some questions,
Hula tayo. Hula lang, hula. Wala akong mic. Sir, na-miss ko po yung item 17. Ano niya? Alang audio. Alang audio. Shh! Wala tayo audio. Magic to, magic. Magic. Girls accommodation. Boys accommodation. Na-miss ko yung item sa 17. Pili ako. Yung kaya yung cookery room. Games room. Kitchen. Pottery room. Sports complex. Or staff accommodation. Anong hula nyo? Galing nyo. Di ba? Gets nyo? Walang audio. Bakit? Sir, may clue? Girls accommodation? Boys accommodation? Ba't ilalagay po kayo ng pottery doon? Anong sense? Di ba? Nagets mo? May tip ka na eh. May clue ka nang nakukuha sa tanong mismo eh. Get clues from the questions themselves. Okay? Galing nyo guys. Na? Maagamit nyo yung skill na yan.
you need to move an answer into a gap on a diagram. At the end of the listening test, you'll have 2 minutes to check all of your answers. The tests will automatically stop when the time finishes.
Sabi, the test will automatically stop once the time expires. Look, mic check. Any questions so far? None? Okay, let's move on. So we have different stages in the exam. Definitely NC before, during, after. So before listening, you read the questions in advance. Sir, are we? How are we allowed to read questions in advance? Well, literally, there is a script telling you this. Look at questions 1 to 10. You now have 1 minute to look for questions 1 to 10. O yan, tingnan mo muna yung mga tanong ha. Bigyan kita 1 minute bago mag-play. Diba ang bait ng listening? Kaya siya yung pinakamadaling exam. Anong gagawin mo? Anong gagawin mo habang may 1 minute na tayo katahimikan? Check mo mismo yung mga questions. Malimbawa. Ito natin mga sample questions dito. Oh, tulad dyan. 1 minute. So, ibig sabihin, dito, wala akong makikitang answer. Pero baka kasi mag-start dito eh. No? Baka sinabi dyan, main hall, let's go to the garden. The sports complex is surrounded by the garden. Ano itong surrounded? Napapalibutan ng 16 daw, yung sports complex. Get the sports complex, drag it later. No? So, na-anticipate mo na. So, may mga questions. May nakalagay dyan. Halimbawa, question number 4. Lang, question number 4. Nakalagay na $sign. Tapos may nakalagay na blank. Naturally, expect mo na ang sagot, pera. Tama ho ba? So, you can anticipate. Before the audio begins playing, you can use this anticipatory methods of thinking, hey, ano kayang babagay na sagot sa item? That's what you do during the 1 minute silence. Remember, your exam has 40 items. For you to get a band 7 at least, you must secure 30 point items answered correctly. Kailangan nyo po ng 30. Ng magic number for minimum target. Ang target talaga natin dyan is 9. This is achievable. Ha? No? This is achievable. Sarap kaya naka-9 ka sa listening, di ba? Ito, kaya eh. Sabihin natin, more than half of the 9er candidates makakuha ng 9. Oh. Pasok ka sa Jollibee, halimbawa. Di ba? Dala mo yung results mo sa phone, may screenshot ka. Doon ka pipila sa priority lane. So, may naka-wheelchair ditong matanda, may buntes, na mo yun. Sabi nga kaya, hindi ba alam naka-9 ako sa listening? Iba yung nabuboost ng ego yan. Okay? Hindi mo araw-araw makikita. Araw-araw makikita ka matanda na ka-wheelchair, di ba? Oh. Araw-araw makikita ka ng bunte. Hindi nyo ito makikita araw-araw, guys. Saan Jollibee? Okay? Kaya man, nilalabas ka ng guard. Bahala. Okay. Before, during. Again, once the audio begins playing, the real game begins. You have to listen. You have to type your answers simultaneously, which makes this extremely difficult, especially for some people na hindi sanay sa ganitong setup. That's why you have to make yourself acquainted with the features of the listening exam that is very close to reality, which can only be achieved, in my opinion, through mock exams, which we do for free sa mga estudyante namin every Tuesday, Friday of every week. Okay pa? Listening, the after stage, never fail to review your answers. Remember, you will also hear a script saying, you now have half a minute to check your answers. Diba? How generous the listening exam is. This exam gives you time to prepare, time to listen. The audio is really stretched out. Pag nag-uusap sila, kasi yung totoong conversation. No? Oh, Kevin, have you done your project last night? Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't able to finish it because of the tasks I did prior to some commitments. I wasn't able to do it, but today I'm going to do it for sure. Ganun yung totoong usap. May speed. Okay. Pero sa listening, hindi siya ganun kabilis. Binagalan siya in such a way, pinapahuli niya talaga sa iyo. Hey, Kevin. Do last night. Sorry, I wasn't able to. See, I had some prior commitments, which I didn't know was about to come up. And yesterday was the time I scheduled for it. That is why I wasn't able to finish it. But I will finish it today, that's for sure. When will Kevin finish the task today? Diba, nahuhuli mo yung sagot. Kasi sa totoong buhay, hindi naman sinagot. Oh, were you able to dig your assignment? Para kayo mga sira, hindi ako mag-usap. Oh, were you able to dig your assignment mo? Ay, mga gago. Hindi kayo ganun mag-usap sa totoong buhay. But sa listening, huh? You hear exactly this slow version of conversation. Because they're trying to let you get as many answers as you possibly can. And, yeah, let us arrange the difficulty of the test. Question. Is the listening test easy? Yes. But it gets difficult. Mahirap po siya as you progress. So, item 1 to 20, manageable. Item 21 to 40, medyo napapansin na natin, mahirap siya. Why? Well, for items 1 to 20, they belong in sections 1 and 2, which is concerned with general everyday scenarios with social context. What do we mean by social context? Interactions between people. So in section 1, literally, there are two people talking. One person inquiring, another person supplying the information. So whatever information this person is trying to provide, those are potential answers. Take note of them, not literally but take note of them here as you type in your answers on the keyboard. So, ano ba yung mga topic na pinag-uusapan nila doon? It's a dialogue between two people talking about transactions. Merong isa nag-post online ng motor, binibenta niya. So, ang mga tanong, anong model, anong year, ilan yung capacity ng tangke, automatic ba to o manual, anong paint niya. Nakalagay dun sa question number 4, color. Currently, it is blue, but its original paint is black. But you can no longer see it now because I painted blue over it. So, anong kulay yung motor? Blue. Sagot mo dun ay blue. Literal pong tanong yan. How much are you looking for it? Siguro naman, nakapagbenta ka na online or nakapag-inquire ka na sa binibenta online. Nakapag-order ka na rin siguro sa online shopping platforms. What else? May nawala ka na bang isang bagay tapos may tumawag sa'yo, sabi, eto, nahanap ko itong bagay na to. Hindi mo ko ng kalahating milyon para ibalik ito sa'yo. Ransom pala eh. Okay. So yun, nakapag-inquire ka na ba sa registrar? Register, may samahan yan eh. Samahan ng mga masusungit na tao. No? Diyan lahat. Ang requirement lang para maging register ka, masungit. Parang maga pa lang tubol na yung tayo. Hindi mo mailabas yan. Sa mundo. No? So, accommodation interview, nakapag-inquire ka na ba sa hotel? Kasi punta kayo ng family mo sa La Union, beach kayo doon. Magkano po ba per night? Okay, sige, thank you po. Tawag na lang po ulit ako. Kasi naghahanap ko na mas mura. Included na po ba yung breakfast? Ano po ba yung mga breakfast? Tosilo, gatsilo. Gets what? So part 3, it becomes a bit of an academic context na. You see, there's 2 to 3, even 4 people talking, sometimes even simultaneously. Sabay-sabay yan, kaya nakakalito. Merong Mary, may Joseph. Ito lahat ng character sa Bible. Mark, yeah. So they are talking about tutorials, making an assignment, or making a research. Which makes it very confusing. Kasi tatlo yung nagsasalita. Dalawa lalaki, isa babae. Yung alam mo doon kung sino. No? So you have to identify them. Next, section 4. You know, what makes section 4 problematic, in my opinion, is not the content. Kasi it's going to be one person talking, giving a narrative, providing some insights on a topic of academic interest. The problem is the type of answers you have to supply. Kasi yung mga sagot nila ay verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. So prior to sections 1, 2, and 3, na ang mga sagot mo ay nouns, nouns are easier to identify, name, date, madali lang siyang isulat. But verbs, adjectives, and adverbs have their form. And if you are going to miscalculate the form, bawa, ang nilagay mong form ay go, verb, dapat palang sagot ay gone, past participle form niya, even though you are practically correct in a sense, you're technically wrong because you used the wrong verb form. That's going to cost you a point. So, sayang pa din. That's why you have to be careful as you progress towards the end because your exam gets tougher. Now, there are 2 barriers to listening. One is speed. We cannot control speed, right? We cannot ask for the invigilator, hey, I'm sorry, I think this audio is very fast. Can you make it go slower? No, hindi mo pwedeng i-request yan. Nakukuha? So what is our deal? What is our suggestion to get used to the speed? Get used to the speed. You have to listen to your audio all day long. Pakinggan mo siya ng pakinggan. No? So I will be uploading some audio later on my YouTube channel. Kasama yung sa link ng replay nito. So makikita nyo sa post ko, replay, yung practice listening test sa bahay na 25 items lang ata. Tapos, practice test ng pen and paper based sa bahay na dalawang 40 items kasama yung audio ng dalawa. I'm not suggesting that you take those 2 sets of an exam. Hindi sinasabing take niyo yung dalawang set ng exam. Bakit? Hindi niyo naman iti-take yun dahil computer-based kayo. Dito na kayo mag-practice. Gusto ko lang yung audio nun, i-play mo lang siya ng paulit-ulit. Sa mga may sasakyan, di ba? Sino magta-travel bukas? Mamanawag, gano'n, Tarlac, wala. Alam magbabiyahe bukas? Sino maglalaba bukas? Meron? Maglilinis ang bahay. Mga mister talaga, tagalaba, tagaluto, tagabukas. Yes, yes, mga tigas. Anong gagawin niyo bukas? Ano? Ha? Play the audio. Kasabay ng paglalaba. Totoo! Di ba? Kasabay po ng paglalaba. Totoo ho yan. Di ba? Nga. Search na. Habang naglalaba ka, habang naglilinis ka ng bahay,
Thomson Exam Essentials, IELTS Practice Tests by Mark Harrison and Russell Whitehead. Published by Thomson ELT, a part of the Thomson Corporation. Copyright 2005. CD2.
And for those who want a souvenir, or for people who don't manage to get to the performances, the foyer shop will be selling a CD showcasing the great talents of the performers.
Sounds good.
Yes. And then after that, our next event is starting on the 1st of March and runs for 8 days. There's a lot going on, so you'll need to...
yan po yung sound trip natin. Biyahe, habang lalaba, kasain, pakinggan nyo lang siya ng pakinggan. Just get used to it. Accent. So we have 3 major accents. Kasi may mga minor accents din eh. For example, Hong Kong English. Mga Chinese English, iba yung version nila. Medyo mas syllabicated sila, parang nagra-rap. Hi, my name is Jian Lu, and I want to inquire about my passport. Yan sila magsalita. Mga Pinoy, mga galit. Parang lagi silang galit. So American is for the very lucky few. Why? Why do you think we can consider ourselves lucky if the accent is American? Familiar. American accent is perhaps the most familiar accent for us Filipinos. Because most of the shows we watch, the movies, the songs we listen to are in the Americans. Diba? Mga kantang pinapakinggan natin sa American accent. Sanay tayo. Tama ho ba? What about the British accent? This is commonly used in the IELTS exam. I could say that if you have 4 sections, 4 parts of the test, about 3 of which will be in the British accent. Diba? But at the end, I would say that British accent is a bit easier compared to American accent. Why? American accent has this tendency to glide. And gliding is making the flow of the speech faster. Mas mabilis. Mas mahirap i-capture yung sagot. So si British accent, mas friendly yung syllabication niya. Dahil, I would like to inquire about the room for tomorrow. Wala lang yung mga R, pero naiintindihan mo pa rin dahil mabagal si British accent. So mas gusto natin siya. Ito ang pinakaayaw natin, si Australian accent. Again, I have Australian friends. My wife's cousin's husband was an Australian national. Ako lang nakikipag-usap sa kanya pagka nag-reunion kami. They're good people. But the way how they speak, really, sometimes they don't make sense at all, if you ask me. So, for those who are cursed, si Australian accent po ang natatapat. So, ang tawag po dyan, malas. Na? So, kaya naman po isa sa mga mahalagang gawin bago ka mag-exam ay manalangin at mag-ipon ng swerte. Na? Okay. Suot ka ng pula, maglagay ka ng coin sa sapatos. Kung ano sa tingin mo magpapaswerte, maialis ka lang dyan sa malas na yan. Na? Sabi ka naman. Sabi ka naman, sir. Sabi mo malas. Ito po sa American accent. Pakinggan natin.
Please call Stella, ask her to bring these things with her from the store: 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob. We also need a small plastic snake and a big toy frog for the kids. She will scoop these things up into 3 red bags, and we will go meet her Wednesday at the train station.
So the way how Americans speak is very fast. She can scoop these things, 3 red bags, and we'll go meet her Wednesday at the train station. Tinatahi-tahi nila yung syllables. There are no pauses anymore in between words, which makes the listening to this kind of script a bit more difficult. But for British, same paragraph, no? Pero pakinggan nyo siya magsalita.
Please call Stella. Ask her to bring these things with her from the store: 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob. We also need a small plastic snake and a big toy frog for the kids. She can scoop these things into 3 red bags, and we will go meet her Wednesday at the train station.
Bit friendly. Naturally, for British accent, in some parts, regardless of the type of accent, they could remove the T. Sometimes they will over-pronunciate the T. But the R is silent. We call it the rotate R. So, we will go meet her Wednesday at the train station. So sometimes nawawala yung T. So instead of pronouncing the word better, like beta, even the T becomes silent. Beta. So that's what makes it a bit problematic in my opinion. But again, yun lang naman, kailangan yung i-watch out. The pronunciation of T and the pronunciation of R. But here is the Australian accent.
Please call Stella. Ask her to bring these things with her from the store: 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob. We also need a small plastic snake and a big toy frog for the kids. She can scoop these things into 3 red bags, and we'll go meet her Wednesday at the train station.
So the 2 most important things to take note about Australian accent are drawling. Drawling is when they lengthen the phoneme, or from the phonetic alphabet sense, yung tunog pinapahaba nila. Simple, cow. Diba? Basa dyan, cow. Oh, look, a cow. Sabi nga ng anak ko. Pag Australian accent, cow. Kumahaba siya. Okay? So that is how the Australian accent is being pronounced. Again, people, I'm trying to warn you when it comes to the process of Australian accent, because there could probably be some occasional lose of coherence. So you have to listen very carefully. Okay? Questions? So we have multiple choice, singular answers versus multiple answers. For multiple answers, you have to click 2 items, minimum, because if you will not, check mo din sa instruction, di ba? Choose the 3 characteristics. So you have letters A to letter H. So you have to select 3 options. If you're going to click 2 lang, although tama naman yung dalawa na yon, your answer for this item will be wrong, because the minimum required for this item is 3 items. So please refer to your instruction carefully. Expect the speaker will use synonyms or paraphrasing on the recording, but most of the time it's verbatim. Say verbatim, you hear exactly as you see it on the test booklet. So here's an example of a multiple choice question.
Section 3. Listen to a female student, Amina, talking to her tutor, Dr. Bryson, about her project on local history. Amina has completed a first draft of the project. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26.
How long? 1 minute. So, Amina's project is about local. So, your key point here is local. So, once you hear the word local, the answer would be mentioned before or after the word. Dr. Bryson particularly liked. So, you have to filter out words that pertains to particular likeness. And Amina was surprised because why do you think he was surprised? So, bad, quickly, difficult to
Now
do.
listen carefully to the
Listen to
first
the
part of the discussion
script
and
itself.
answer questions 21 to 26.
Well, Amina, thanks for letting me have your draft in such good time.
Oh, that's all right. I was just very anxious to hear what you think of it. You can see that I decided to change the topic. I had been interested in looking at Bering's factory.
Oh, I think the hospital was a much better choice. In fact, well, I have to say that I thought it was good.
Oh.
There's still lots of work to be done.
Oh, yes, of course.
But there's plenty of good ideas. It opens well, and the first chapter is fine, but the middle section really stood out for me. Most interesting.
That's amazing, because I really didn't find it a bit easy to write.
How long did you work on the whole thing?
Well, I spent about 2 or 3 weeks reading and doing general research, and then I dashed the writing off very quickly. So about 4 weeks in all.
Well, that's about par for the course. You've got a while yet to make the changes.
Oh, right. No problem.
Right. Let's have a look at my notes here. Okay, starting with section headings. The broad divisions are good, but you'll have to redo.
All right. Sabi ni Amina, oh, I was very anxious. See, I was looking at the Bering's factory. No, I think the hospital is a much better choice. So Amina decided to change the topic from factory to the hospital. That's why Dr. Bryson gave her a positive comment that that was actually a much better move than moving on to the factory. So hospital is her answer for 21. Dr. Bryson particularly likes. So there were so many adjectives used in this conversation. Sabi niya doon, it opens well, which pertains to the introduction. Opens well. Do you think that Dr. Bryson liked it? Yes, sabi nga niya, it opens well. But do you think he particularly liked introduction compared to the rest? Not at all, di ba? The first chapter is fine, but the middle section really stood out well for me. Most interesting. So middle section, yun daw yung nangibabaw sa kanya. So number 22, the answer is letter C. Oh, I was amazed. Sabi ni Amina, kagulat naman because I didn't find it easy to write. I didn't find it easy to write, found it difficult to do. Kaya ang sagot natin sa 23 ay letter C. Kuha? That's how you answer multiple choice questions like this. Now we also have gap fill, which you have to classify your answers into categories. Short answer questions and lists where you have to literally type your answers on the gap. Note table flowchart completion, which is either filling out the answers by typing them one by one or by interacting with the interface, which I think is much easier. We also have sentence completion, summary completion, labeling a diagram, map, or plan, which is, in my opinion, the most difficult part of any IELTS exam. There is. Some gap fill type questions have a table of options to choose from. Remember that keywords and synonyms matter the most here. Now, one or two among the 4 sections may be a map or a diagram. Directions focus on directions. As I've given you a tip a while ago, you will be using your mouse to point to the direction of the screen and to interact with the answers altogether. But I want you to use your non-moving finger. Di mo naman ginagamit. You can use it to trace the map on the screen to help you identify exactly which part you are in right now. Kasi nagbabago nga siya. Lilipat-lipat kayo ng area. So also, take note of the words that give you a sense of directions. like adjacent, katabi. Neighboring, katabi. Adjoining, pinagtatabi, pinagdidikit, siya yung nasa gitna. Cross, across, katapat. Transversely, dulo-dulo. From corner to corner, same. Beside, katabi. Next to, katabi. Alongside, sa kahabaan, dadaanan. In between, sa pagitan. In the middle of, sa gitna. Amid, nasa gitna. Left, right, front, north, south, east, west. So, example natin ng map.
Well, here we are at the top of the tower, and we're going to look at the view from each direction. Out to the east, the large buildings about 1 kilometre away are on the Olympic site. There's an indoor arena for gymnastics, a stadium for track and field, and a swimming pool for races and synchronised swimming, and also diving. If you look carefully down there, you can see the train lines. The Olympic site has its own station to encourage the use of public transport. There is also a car park, but it only holds a limited number of cars. The formal park has some specially created water features. If you look out here to the south, you can see a circular ornamental pond. And around to the west, you can relax and sit on a bench to smell the flowers in the rose garden. And finally, up to the north, if you look in front of you now, there's a lake with a small island in the centre. You can hire rowing boats at the boat shed, which you can't see from here. But if you look through the trees, you can see the cafe, which has lovely views across the water. OK, let's climb down now. We will go now and have a look at the nature reserve section of the park, which has opened up natural wetland to the public.
Right, so let's see what happened. Sabi dyan, we are here at the top of the tower. So this is your reference point. Doon ka po point. Dito ako. Out here to the east, meron po tayong legends, which means ang east ay nasa right. So, which is 1 kilometer away, ang tawag dyan ay si Olympic side. There's an indoor arena, a stadium, and a swimming pool. If you look carefully down there, there's a train line which encouraged the users to use the public transport. The Olympic side has its own station. And next to it is a car park. So walang nakalagay doon, yun po yung box na pertain to car park, yun yung item number 15. Now, if you move to the south, saan ka magsa-south? South ng car park? Hindi. Ito yung reference point mo eh. Balik ka sa reference point, south nun, nandun yung circular ornamental pond. Next, to the west, sa kaliwa naman ng tower, pwede ka daw maupo. You can sit and relax on the benches and smell the flowers on the rose garden. So yung semicircle na to, ito po ay si rose garden. So nilagay ko lang dito si RG kasi nga mahirap magsulat dito sa mouse pointer ko. But kung itatype ko yan, mas mabilis. Nakuha? Next, I have here on the north, na there's a lake with a small island on the center. You can also hire rowing boats on the boat shed, which you can see from here. Kasi nga, ito yung tower, ito yung boat, nabablock siya ng mga trees. But if you look carefully through the trees, may trees dito, may trees. Ibig sabihin, sa pagitan niya, meron daw ditong cafe. So yun pong sagot natin, 17 ay cafe. So yun po ang pagsagot ng map. Questions? So spelling, both American and British spelling are accepted. Either spelling is correct. The problem is that there should always be a general consensus that we need to honor. So on top of whether your answer is in the British spelling or American spelling, they're correct. Unless if there's a format of the example provided. You can choose whatever spelling you want. No? You can choose whatever spelling you want. But what I'm suggesting is that you use the American spelling more if you don't know which type of spelling to use, because the American spelling is internationally recognized. Ang British spelling po kasi nag-i-exist lang yun dun sa kanila. Nagigets? For example, gumamit ka ng British spelling. Sabi mo dun sa item number 4, color. Ganyan ang spelling niya. Ginamit mo siya. Pero number 47, ang spelling mo ng tire na gulong ito. Ang British spelling yan tire na ganyan. So ang tanong ng examiner, ba't inconsistent yung spelling mo? So dahil lang hindi mo alam na yung TYRE pala ang spelling ng tire sa UK, dahil gumamit ka ng color, nagmagaling ka, akala ng examiner, mali na yung spelling mo ng tire. That's why consistency is the key. So kung mag-American spelling ka from top, American spelling until finish. Mahirap kasi pa nag-British spelling ka at the beginning, the examiner will expect British spelling throughout. But again, both spellings are acceptable regardless. Except, again, may exception to the rule. If there is a format of the example given, ay papaliwanag ko mamaya. Now, so all caps are accepted. Actually, this is what we recommend, what we highly suggest for younger candidates, for you to capitalize your answers. Tenses. What past is? Past is. Most particularly for be verbs. There will be occasions when you will see a be verb, a possessive verb, an auxiliary verb before your answer. So be and any of its forms is, are, was, were, am. So kung nakalagay dyan be, narinig mo cook lang, if you're going to write cook as your answer is wrong. Because you have to comply the word cook, which is what you heard. Again, this is verbatim, yun po yung narinig mo, cook lang. Pero dahil may be, dun sa paglalagyan, kailangan mo siyang i-transform into its past participle form. Which, again, is very problematic. Why? Kasi ang past participle, meron tayong regular at irregular verb. For example, yung cooked, siya na yung past form, siya rin yung past participle. Si wanted, si earned, siya yung past form, siya rin yung past participle. You just have to use its same past form to come up with your past participle. The problem is that there are certain verbs which, in my opinion, are more than the regular verbs, which you call irregular verbs, like the word eat. So yung eat, ang kanyang past form ay ate, pero ang past participle niya ay eaten. So this will become a problem for those of you who don't know kung ano yung form ng verb. That's why when we were in elementary and high school, nire-recite talaga yan. Nasa 200 plus na verbs na kailangan mong kabisaduhin. So there's no other way than to memorize them. Yikes. So, again, singular versus plural. May mga clues naman tayo. Kung nakalagay dyan, blank is. Diba? Nakalagay doon. Blank is. So, ang sagot mo, hindi the cookies, kundi the cookie is. Nakuha? Kasi singular po si is. Nakuha yan? So, format of writing your answer. Okay, bago to, burahin muna natin. Yan. So, if your answer is November 18, for example, there are several ways how you can answer it. Pwedeng ito, November 18, pwedeng 18 November, pwedeng 18th November, pwedeng November 18th, pwedeng 18th of November. Now, which do you think is the best option? Pierre, would you help us? Ano sa tingin mo pinakamagandang sagot dyan? 18 November. Okay. Ang narinig mo sa audio, ito narinig mo sa audio ha, November 18. Narinig mo sa audio, November 18. Anong the best na sagot niya? November 18. Etong una. No? Eto. Sagot ni ma'am, eto. Tatama kaya siya? Oo. Sagot ni ma'am, 18th, may TH. Tatama kaya siya? Yes. Sagot nito ni ma'am. Ma'am, sagot mo yan? November 18th. Natama kaya siya? Yeah. Yes. Sagot ni Arton, eto, 18th of November. Ang tanong, bakit mali si Arton? Okay, may nakalagay na instruction. Write no more than 2 words and or a number. Meaning, kung 2 words and or a number, itong unang-una mong tatanggalin sa options. Tama. Ngayon, ibig sabihin, sir, narinig ko November 18. Kahit ano dyan, tama? Tama po ba? Kahit ano dyan, correct? Yes. But the thing is, you have to answer it exactly the way you heard it. The best option is still going to be November. Now, what if there's a format of the example given? Okay, which is going to change the playground. Mag-iiba na naman ang ating playing court. So we want to level the playing field. Able. Game schedule for the Red Devils. Date. Location. Yan. So, kunwari ako yung audio. Alright, so we have here the game schedule for the Red Devils for the first schedule on the 9th of September. They will have a match against the Green Knights at the British Sports Center. Sulat. Two days after, which is September 11, tama? They will return on the same venue, but this time against the Yellow Fairies. Oh, there you have it. That is the game schedule for the Red Devils for next week. Now, both of these answers are, I'm not going to say wrong, but improperly formatted, which could lead to an incorrect answer. So number 1 is the spelling of British Sports Center. I would like to point out that the spelling of word center here is in American spelling. As I've mentioned, you can use either British or American spelling. You can use either. Ibig sabihin po, Tagalogin ko, pwede kang gumamit ng American, pwede kang gumamit ng British, nang walang problema. Except if there is a format of the example given. Binigay na mismo yung way kung paano mo siya i-spell out, literally, just below the item itself. So examiners would take a look at this. Hey, why didn't Kevin just copy it? I think, imamali ko to kasi he used a different spelling. Parang ang pangalan ko, Kevin, yung I, ginawa mong Y. Hindi ako papayag nun. Siyempre, pangalan ko to eh. Right? This is its proper name. Hence, it will lead to a mistake. Nakukuha. All right. Now, why September 11 is wrong? It was literally what's stated on the audio. Well, it's because the format is wrong, not the answer itself is wrong. Kung ganito po yung way niya kung paano siya isinulat sa format, gagayahin mo lang siya. 11 SEPT lang ang iyong sagot. So I hope I made myself some sense here that even though they are practically correct, they're technically wrong considering the format. Napaka-importante po niya. Masasabi ko 5 to 7 points ang mawawala sa iyo pag hindi mo pinormat ng maayos yung sagot. Which is malaking bagay. Let's say you're trying to get a band 6, 25 points, nawalan ka ng 7, 3.5 na lang score mo. Hindi ka makakapunta sa target country mo. Sayang. Okay? So, take note of proper formatting. Mga students number. Yan. Kevin, may I get your student number? Oh, sure. My student number is AE 151-2652. Oh, what's it again? It's AE 151-2652. Okay, thank you. So I have another set of variations here. So we have AE 151-2652. AE 151-2652 same, but instead of putting hyphens, spaces are used. And then AE 151-2652. Which one do you think is the better answer among? Which is the best among these? Third. Okay. Actually, all of which are correct. Tama lahat. You can use any. Saan ka mas komportable? Lagyan mo ng dash? Sure. Lagyan mo ng space? Fine. Wala ka ilagay kahit ano? Lang. There. This is the situation. There is an instruction. Says, write no more than one word and or a number. Hindi ibig sabihin ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, dami ko sobra. So, yung bloke po nila, yung binibilang. So, meaning, if one word, yung instruction, ito ang sagot mo, mali. Yung may hyphens. Kung one word ang instruction, nilagyan mo ng space between numbers and letters, mali. It should be one diretso. Okay? Without hyphens, dashes, or spaces in between. They are considered correct. If the policy number, the student number, credit card number, plate number, if there are letters mentioned, write them in. Clear? Again ha, huwag pong mawala sana yung follow the example. Sir, nakalagay, write no more than 3 words. And or a number. Ang sagot ko, January 21 to January. Kasi yun sir talaga mismong narinig ko eh. Paano po kaya yun? According to your lessons, one word, second word, third, fourth, fifth, 5 salita po yan. Ano pong gagawin ko? So the first thing you need to do is to change to into hyphen. Because hyphen is not considered a word, but a symbol. So lusot ka dyan. And then, remove the repetitive use of word. Magiging ganito na lang po siya. Pasok na yan sa requirements. Sir, what about this? My answer is a big, red, juicy apple. Yan po mismo narinig ko, sir. And nakalagay, write no more than 3 words. Ano pang gagawin ko? So the first thing you will omit is the article. So yung mga a, an, the, yan po mga unang tatanggalin. His, her, Yung mga pronouns. Bawa, her jacket. So, one word lang, jacket na lang ang sagot. Nakuha po? Sir, big red juicy apple. Apat pa rin yan. Ang gagawin ko dyan. Pipili ka ngayon kung ano yung i-eliminate mo dito sa tatlo. Actually, kahit itapon mo yung tatlo na yan, ang kailangan matira dyan yung apple. Okay, but because we want to make our answer as close to a specific response as much as possible, kailangan natin maglagay ng adjectives pa din. So may tatlo ka, tatanggalin mo yung isa. So, yung big po ba ay importanteng adjective? Oo, because it determines the size of an apple. How would I know if the apple is big, small, or medium size? So kailangan si big. What about si red? Kailangan ko ba si red? Kailangan ko si red dahil iba-ibang kulay ng apple. Kailangan ko si red dahil merong nung pink. May green apple. Oh, may black na apple. Ano yung black na apple, Pierre? Yung bulok. Ano na kung may pink? Oh. So, kailangan po ba yung big? Kailangan ko ba yung red? Eh, yung juicy. Hindi na. Kasi, apples are naturally juicy. Unless it's dried. I mean, fuck. Come on. Diba? Tanggalin mo na yan. Anong sagot mo ngayon? Big red apple. Na lang. Units of measurement. Sabi dyan, 31 meters. Sagot mo, 31 m. Tama ba yan? Oo. Mali. Why? Mali pa rin. Bakit? Sinorkat eh. Yung M, ano yung M? 31 M? Hanggang maka 31? That's what it means. So you have to write meters. Literally. Eh sir, paano? Ige. May nakalagay na format, 21M. That's the time na yung 31M ay tatama. Kuha? Okay. What about the spelling? M-E-T-E-R or M-E-T-R-E? Either is correct. Pero pag may format, yan na naman, yun ang susundin mo. Malinaw po tayo? Okay. Item number 31. Nandun na yung meters. Sobrang galing mo, sinulat mo pa. Lagot ka. Kasi, this is repetitive use of your unit of measurement. So take note of it. If there's a unit of measurement already there indicated, nakuha pa, there's no need for you to put it again because it will become repetitious. Itatanong natin kay IT, hindi lang kasi siya pumasok, about the currency. Kasi sa pen and paper based, madaling isulat si currency eh. Yung yen, ganyan yan. Nakaka-encounter kasi tayo. Yung euros, ganyan siya. Yung pound, this is cursive letter L with, yan, si peso. At pinaka-importante sa lahat si dollars. Diba? Para siyang isaw. Stick. Na? Sarap ba yan? Okay. So, ngayon kasi, nakikita natin sa keyboard, yung shortcuts natin ay yung dollar lang. So, tatanong ko kay IT kasi currently, wala naman ako na-encounter student na ang tanong daw sa kanila, yen or pounds or euros. Or if meron mang ganon, ibibigay na nila yung unit of measurement kasi mahirap siyang hanapin sa keys. Nakukuha? Okay. Paki-ready po ang lapis at papel. Walang lapis at papel. Ballpen. Walang ballpen? Cellphone. Sulat ka na po. Ito po yung magiging tanong nyo ngayon.
Now turn to section 3. Section 3. You will hear two friends
discussing a course they have just done. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 27. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 27.
Oh, Ben, I just remembered I never filled in that form for Nick.
Ah.
Did you do it?
The course feedback form.
Yes. If you want, we can do it together. I've got mine here.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a look then. What do we have to do?
Let's fill in the top first. Let's see. Course code.
It's communication in business.
Okay. Communication in business. I do know that, but what's the code?
CB16 something. CB162, isn't it?
That's it. Okay. And dates. When did we start? I remember my birthday's on May 4th, and it was the day after. It must have been May 5th.
Gosh, doesn't seem that long ago, does it?
No. And we finish at the end of this week on Friday, so that's July 15th.
16th.
Oh.
Monday was the 12th.
Yeah.
Right, that was the easy bit. Now, let's have a look. Please give your comments on the following aspects of the course. Okay, what's the first one? Oh, course organisation. What do you think?
Ang sagot niya. Gusto niya. Kailan daw? May 5th. Birthday is on the 4th, and it's the day after that, so it must have been May 5th. Sabi na naman dun sa date, nung sa 22, and July 15. No, 16, because Monday was the 12th, so 12, 16 yung Friday. Okay? So may hinanda po ako ditong redemption sticker. Sasagutan niyo po ito. Ito? Okay. Okay, pamigyan na natin. Paper base po yan. Kaya literal, kailangan niyo po siyang sulatan. Okay lang kung ballpen lang po ang pagsusulat. Pamimigay ko na po yan sa inyo. Ang bayad ko yan ay mamaya na lang. Item number 1, accommodation agent. Listening 1. Alright. So para po sa mga nasa Zoom, si Christian, Jean, Junie, Christine, and MJ, thank you guys for participating for today's discussion. Your practice test will be uploaded so that you can also do your practices at home. So, bye-bye. Have a nice Saturday afternoon. Bye.